So we will be creating or adding dimensions from the previous sample exercise provided in our canvas. So open the sample floor plan. So let us add some dimensions here. Before we add dimensions, okay, you need to set up the dimension style. So let us first provide the dimension, and dimensioning is provided under the annotation panel here under the home tab, or you could have the complete set of annotation using the annotate tab in your ribbon. Okay, so I'll just select home. You could select linear and so on. Also under annotate tab, you have your linear here, provide the dimension here. So either which you could use them. So let's try home. Go to home and then linear. So let us first add some dimensions here. So let us provide here and the other corner here. Notice that it is relatively small. So I'll just erase this one. Make sure you use the dimension layer. Okay, so let us set up the units. So first you need to set up the dimension style by typing letter D. That's the keyboard shortcut for the dimension style. Press enter and then you have options here: annotative, standard, or this one. So I'll just select standard. Okay, so under you have your preview of standard here, this screen, and then can set the current or create a new. Okay, so creating new refers to the first three here. Okay, so I will not create a new dimension style. Okay, so I'll just modify standard. So I'll select standard and then select modify button here. So probably first things first is you need to set up your primary unit. So I'll just go to the primary units tab. Make sure that this is somewhat similar to the unit settings of your drawing. So I'll select architectural. Then precision, I'll just use 1/8. So fraction format, notice here 1 and 1/4. It's horizontal. You may want to change it to diagonal or not stack. Okay, it's your choice. So then I'll just use horizontal. Then you do know what is prefix and suffix. So prefix is before that dimension value. Like for example, suffix, the end. Let's try inches. And if you're going to add another inches here, it has double symbol here. So I just remove that one. This might be applicable in terms of meters or centimeters or millimeters, but then notice the degree, it will be added. So definitely I wouldn't add any suffixes. Then you have your degrees. I'll just leave it that way. And then under lines, okay, so I will not be editing these dimension lines and extension lines color because I will be using the layer provided. And then probably I'll just change this later on. Okay, so extend beyond dimension lines. So this refers to this one, the extension here. Okay, and then offset from origin refers to the offset value here. So if you're going to increase this one, let's say, notice that one. Okay, so it changes from that particular point. So that is the origin itself. And then extension beyond dimension lines. Notice the changes on your previous screen. It extends beyond with this length. So later on we will be changing that, but first we need to change the text. Okay, so text height is provided here. So I'll just change this one to 12. And then notice the font size changes. If I'm going to select this one, so it changes. So horizontal, all your dimension values are horizontally aligned and then aligned with dimension line. Okay, depends on your selection. So I'll just use horizontal. And then I'll just go to arrows and symbols, change the size. I'll just change this to 10. And then depending on your symbol, okay, like for example, origin indicator. Notice the change here. This will be your possible output. And make sure that the first and the second are similar. Otherwise, if you're going to select this one as different, first and second, notice your dimensioning style here. So make sure that they are similar. So I'll just change this one to architectural tick, probably. Just use that one. So both of them should be architectural tick. And then I'll just go back to lines and then extend beyond extension line. I'll just change them to, let's say, 3. And then offset from origin, let's try 3. So this should be long enough. 5 and 3, probably. Okay. So text is 12, 10, then that should do it. So I'll just press OK, and then OK. So we modified standard. So make sure use standard for that annotation. Okay. So I'll just close this one. I'll just go to annotate tab and make sure that this is under standard. Okay. So changing that, I'm good to go. So let us dimension linear. So I'll just select this corner and the corner here, the bottom. So if you need some adjustments, like for example, the extension of that dimension line or the offset of origin, you may press dimension style, then modify. Then let us go to the offset. Let's try 7, and then this one. Let's add some more, 5. And then okay. By the way, I'll just change this to simply close field arrowheads. Then okay. Then there's a named reference here, so I just double click this one, then go to the last part, and then to provide reference value. Next, I will just use linear to provide this one. You could move this one, like for example, select this one, you can move that part. So probably that should be good. Then linear again. So simply follow the procedure here. Import in. Then if you wanted to use this one, continue. Make sure you created a linear dimension, then use continue. So it will automatically continue that dimensioning. So that is 27 feet. Okay. And then some of them you could use sum of which this is linear for this here. Also you could add some more dimensions in this one, and then I'll just use continue for the opening of those windows. Similarly for this one, you could use linear and then use continue. So hopefully you could have an idea on how to dimension the sample floor plan using this one. So I'll just leave it that way, and hopefully you could have an idea on how to dimension your floor plan.